Hey everyone, and welcome to the first real episode of this game with Bogarus. It is I, Lucid, and I am joined by Grippa. Grippa for life.
Hello, hello.
Yes, and so this game is special. It's a Hydra game, and the idea is two heads, one body. So Grippa and I are both playing the nation of Bogarus. And the idea behind this is, I don't know, some of the games lately have been taking a lot of subs, like maybe 3 or 4 people in a 12-person game would sub out. It's kind of a lot. And it's kind of like the community can only bear so much subbing. And after that, like after all the people who are willing to sub have subbed, then it gets hard to like finish a good game out. So one of the reasons to do this is I'm hoping it's going to be much less likely we need to get a sub because everybody, is already a team of 2. So, that's potentially a sub right there because one person can potentially play the whole nation themselves. And then in addition, with 2 people playing, it should be less burdensome for anyone where they feel like they need to sub out. So that's one of the reasons. And the other reason is just like when these things go to late game, it can just be super taxing. And so it's more like a real life balance thing. So that was the idea behind this. And the idea is that both players will log in and look at each turn and chit-chat about it and decide what to do and hopefully come to some consensus and then split up some of the burden of actually doing like the micro of the turns. And so I have Grippa as my partner. How many games have we played together now, Grippa?
Quite a few. And I'd say in at least 75% of them, you kicked my ass.
Well, I'm not really. Have I?
Well,
No, I don't think so. I kicked your ass as Scalarius Airmore. That was a kind of epic battle.
that was so fun. Trying to empower my god to earthquake out skeletons behind skeletons.
Yeah.
That was great. You got me to sub in for East of Eden. How dare you? That still haunts me.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we didn't fight there. We were allies there.
in a way, yes.
Yeah. I mean, we
was
fought a little
trying
bit
to
at the
find
end.
ways.
But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been in quite a few games. Number of blitzes. When you shit on me with your clowns.
That is true. We did fight then. You asshole. You said you did incite unrest or whatever on my cap like turn 3 with a flying fucking spy. You asshole.
That was my happiest Dominions moment, was finding you turn 2.
Yeah.
Right there. Total
Whoops.
guess. I was like, oh, here we go. And then I regretted it from then on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've been in quite a few games.
Yeah. So, Grippa, I have a confession to make. I have a secret agenda with having you as my partner in this.
I had a sneaking sensation that there was a reason for that.
Yeah. The thing is, I feel like you've gotten to this point. Like, you've been in a lot of games now with a pretty, reasonably high-skilled lobby. And like, a lot of the things. And you do.
Yeah, I would agree there.
Yeah. But the thing that I want to get in you that is like the confidence and the wherewithal, like the killer instinct is what I want.
Which I do not have.
Right.
I do not have.
Right.
I have won every game by fighting defensive wars until I won the game.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, I mean that's it. It's nice sometimes when people suicide armies into you. I can't say it's not. But yeah, I mean, we can totally get stomped here. People think Bogarus is weak, and there's totally a chance we get owned. But if we don't, hopefully we get to do some like killer instinct training where we get to, diagnose somebody as being vulnerable and then just go annihilate them.
I would be down for that. I have been told by Zan and Ballin multiple times that I'm amazing at battles, but I suck at the strategic map, which is hilarious to me because I think I suck everywhere. So having them tell me that is sometimes nice.
Yeah.
So teach me, oh sensei, how to fight people outside of the battle.
Well, we're going to talk about some of that in this episode. So what we're going to talk about, this is a live turn, right? So it's turn 0. There's nothing much to talk about. We'll talk about who's in the game. No. We'll talk about what nations they're playing. And I had written up some notes for what I think would be a good first war target or not. And this before knowing really anything about where anybody is, who expanded well, who didn't. And, it's just like, is this the plan we're going to stick to? No. But this is just a framework through which we can replan later as we get more information. But this is all part of developing that killer instinct, because we're not going to, if we can help it, we're not going to just throw ourselves randomly into somebody with all of our might. We're going to do it in a circumstance where we think it will result in us crushing them. And
so we're not repeating new castings. Got it.
Yeah. Licking our fingers and just, what do you call it when you squeeze out the flame on a candle? I don't know.
Oh, good question. Burning myself, probably.
Yeah. Probably is what we'll do. So, okay, so let's get with it. So this is our start. We got a kind of cool start. We've got 3 farmlands that are near us. So this is some pretty good luck. And this is a large farmland. Unless, because, the game could fuck us and then put like undead here, which cuts the population in like half.
We're getting that. That's being a site with like 3 of those death provinces.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a... It's even called God Haven? No, we're screwed.
But look, we have 4 farms near our cap. We've got this one and this one and this one and this one. I mean, honestly, we don't even have to get like these. This is going to be like a 300 gold province. It's going to be like a 150, 150, 150. I mean, so if you just add all that up, that's like...
Are those large provinces? I'm used to the houses.
This is a large.
That's a large?
If you see...
Is it based on number of connections?
Usually a large province on this. So, okay, that's another good thing to talk about. The map, because people are going to ask about this. What is this map, Lucid? This is Map Nuke. And Isataris, who's actually in this game, he was also in the tournament. He was Jotunheim in the tournament. But
God.
he has Nuke decided to put in a feature into Map Nuke. And I did a video about this where you can do custom textures that will get loaded in. And Isataris has come in and he had a brilliant idea for this parchment style map that would look like old fantasy maps, pulled out of Lord of the Rings or something. And he's gone and I've helped him with teeny tiny parts of it. Teeny tiny parts, like some of the underwater stuff I did. I don't even know if there's any of it on the map. I think I did a lot of the underwater features. Like I think these ferns and stuff I might have done, or some of these.
Is that like a squid head sticking out of the water? I love it.
Where?
This is an amazing. The one you have selected there.
Oh no, that's like this is a cave system.
But that looks like a head.
There's cooler caves. I don't know. Anyway, I've helped a tiny bit.
It's beautiful.
I've helped like 1%, but I'm very proud of the 1% I helped on. And so yeah, it's just a normal Map Nuke map, but like totally reskinned. So, yeah, it's beautiful. But part of one of the things that was in Map Nuke is there were indicators for if a province was large or not. And I believe in this setup, if there's a large centerpiece of a city, I believe that is what lets you know it's large. So this, for example, would be large. And our player over here, who spawned over here, which we did the tournament rule set for starts, which means most people get just a random plane start. And if you get a random plane start, it means you'll truly be random. Like when the map's generated, it'll roll a dice and that determines where you start. However, nations that have specific requirements for their start, like in this case, Atlantis, we have 2 coastal nations. We have Atlantis and Jomon. And what we have done is we have given them coastal starts where this is their cap, and then they have a small lake system attached to their cap. But their starts are fixed. And the reason is because if we don't fix it, there's a very good chance that the Dominion's engine, it's supposed to like preferentially place coastal nations in a coastal start location, but in practice it's very bad at doing that. And more than likely,
I have learned.
Somebody else. Yeah, I think you got. Did you get?
I was the Wasteland Utgard for new casting.
Yeah. But the worst is to get a coastal start. Especially when fish come and set up right in your cap circle. You're like, oh my god, kill me.
Yep, have that plenty of times too.
Right. So a consequence of this is we know who this start that so they get a nice coastal start. Atlantis does, but everybody knows where they are. So we know Atlantis is here before the game's even started, and we know Jomon is here.
Okay.
But we don't know anything else really.
I am absolutely loving how his lake system is pointing straight at our cap. So he's gonna like walk into it, walk through it, and be like, "Oh, look where my army's at."
Well, like our best province right here is this thing which he can sail to.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it. I actually think, which is funny because if you look at like my tier list, Bogarus is probably like a B tier, I'm guessing. And what I put, I have no idea what I actually put it as, but Atlantis is probably like an A or S tier. Like, cause Atlantis
is so S.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think we'll actually have a very good chance at crushing Atlantis. So the only problem if we choose to kill Atlantis will be kicking them out of the water. So we'll have to see how we do that. We may just summon like undead hordes or something and then go underwater if we go that.
So why did you shoot down my water breathing plus idea? So what I'm hearing is that this was a great idea.
Yeah, it would have been phenomenal. We should have done it. Okay.
With the 3 provinces of water.
Speaking of which, we do. The shipwreckers are available for recruitment. And the thing is, if we want to get them, we would have to cancel all recruitment and we have to put 400 gold in it. Because I'm pretty sure somebody else will do that. And then we have to get lucky. I was thinking a weird metagame thing might be announcing in chat who's going to do it. Which if other people, if everybody thinks they're the only person putting 400 in, then they'll be more likely to do it. But if everybody thinks everybody's going to put 400 in, then they're not going to be likely to do it. So that could be a little mind game that would work because we'd still have to put 400, gold in it. I think if you put 390, I don't think you're going to get it. But that would basically be 3 free provinces.
Yes, and you again struck down my idea of let's just walk the shipbreakers into that water there and take it from before Atlantis can, because that would not go well. Good call there.
Yeah, I think we can kill Atlantis. I don't think we want to rush it. Like, I think we need to figure out who our neighbors are. We need to get naps with those of them we can. And then if the stars align and for various factors we think Atlantis is a good target, which I think they are, because they're going to... it was one thing I was cognizant of when we were doing this map is that, like, Jomon is going to be very likely to be at ends with whoever spawns right here, right? Because they get to go through their water system. It's like a very asymmetrical fight because they get to fight from these water provinces into whoever's over here, but they can't fight back. Same thing for Atlantis. Atlantis, it's asymmetrical. They get to fight through the water system, and we have to just go through this little narrow, choky part on land.
Yeah. Our best hope is that Atlantis wants to go south to those other lakes. Maybe. I mean, they probably won't, but I can dream. Or east, even.
No, that's true. We don't have a lot of other water near us. Like, they might want to go this way and control these water provinces, too. Actually, they can sail just as well from here into whoever's over on this side. So, that's a good point. Okay, so let's go through who's in it. And I think you have the...
yes.
You have who's playing who. So... some of these I know. Okay, so Arcocephale is being played by Isataris and by Arco. And Arco has some absurd win rate with early age Arco, which is a very different beast than late age Arco. They have similar tool set in terms of mages, but early age Arco is like heavily dominated by the fact that Wind Riders are just phenomenal expanders and great in an early war. Late age Arco... I don't know as much. It'd be interesting to kind of look at I guess they have these champions, which they're kind of better than ours. They have less protection. We have 3 more protection. And
what's our sword attack? Like, what's our damage on the? Because they have a 17 broadsword after that 19 damage lance charge.
Yeah, we'll take a look. We have, basically the same.
Oh, he's the same. Okay.
We have 2 less defense, but 3 more protection. And I think that protection, I don't know. What do we have? We're at 13 attack here, and what do they have on theirs? They've got... Yeah, the
12.
same. No, but it's 12 for the clubs, 13 for these other ones.
yeah.
So I don't know. I think it depends on a lot of other things. I think they're pretty much equivalent. But they also get these armored elephants, which are pretty sick. 18 armor elephants, which do a very good job at squishing heavy cav, which is what we're going to be rolling with. So I don't know. But this team is the team to beat. Now there's a lot of other good players in. So the next up we have Ulm.
Ulm is played by Star Christ and Arabian Sandpoa.
Right. And my series on Ulm is going up as we're recording this, so I think it's a great nation. However, and I guess we should go back and talk about Arco, because I've got some notes that I wrote down on matchups for early game, not for really late game. But so for Ulm, I think it is a great matchup for us, and there's a few reasons. One is, if he does heavy infantry, then one of the things I learned from playtesting it is you can reliably get a lot of crossbows in late age. So you don't really need them on your national roster. You just build forts or recruit them as indies. And if you have good skills, you can get a lot real quickly. So if Ulm goes like Zweihanders and we have like 200 crossbows, he's going to be boned, right? But he may have a lot of rangers, right? And so if he has like 100 rangers, then we can have like 200 archers. And our archers will screw over his rangers. So I think there's like several scenarios where we kind of just win. Like we just have a better, cheaper stuff. And the thing is, Ulm is going to want certain paths on their god, most likely. So there's a very good chance Ulm is not full scales. And, especially not like Order 3 Productivity 3 like we are, where we're ready to just literally have units seep out of every pore on our body.
I do think that matchup though is crucial in us getting scouting to see how they're going to be playing Ulm.
Yeah,
because if they're not going with Rangers and if they are going with Rangers and we pulled out crossbowmen, we're not winning that duel. But if they're not using Rangers and we pull out Archers, it's just like, oops.
Right. Well, we're going to have crossbows no matter what. But the question is how much, because like the way I see it, we're going to have indie crossbows going like crazy on every single province that makes crossbows. But our forts, the question is, how much do we put into infantry? How much do we put into archers? And how much do we put into our heavy cav? And I think they each have a place. Like our infantry suck. But they have shields. And if we're fighting flyers, sometimes we just need bodies or something, Yeah. But if they go Rangers, we need, having some scouting and, figuring out we're going to need 200 archers. Because we can make probably like 40 archers a turn or something dumb. Like something absolutely dumb from a fort. Okay, but I think this is a good matchup for us because not only do we have the unit counters, but we can do flaming arrows easier than he can. And we're going to research better than he can. And we can probably make it to enchant 6 faster than he can, which means any kind of archery war, we should just dominate him in.
Yeah.
And where we are like an astral nation without any super cheap astral 1 dudes, it's kind of nice to get the other astral nations out of the game. So.
Oh, yeah. I agree with the removing astrals. Although we do get astrals for 100 gold.
Yeah, and they're Astral 2, which is great. I guess his are 70, so I don't know if it makes sense to like magic duel a 70 gold mage into an Astral 2. But the thing is, we're not going to have a lot of the Astral 2s in our armies. Our armies are probably going to mostly be made up of other mages, which are going to be like 110 gold in Astral 1. But
I really like the look of the Occultist, but that's just because I play Utgard, and they're like Seth Kona light.
Yeah, they're super good. Okay, so that's Ulm, and let's go back to Arco real quick and talk about the matchup. I think, so the Ulm matchup is great because they can't gas us, which means foul vapor us, and we already talked about the other reasons. Arco is a mem matchup. It's not great. I think, first of all, they, with their cap-only mages, these ladies, they can foul vapors us. The Seables, right? The water randoms. It's not easy for them to do. It's not like every province we attack is going to have a Foul Vapors caster in it. And they're probably not going to recruit a ton of these, right? But
Yeah.
It's Arco. I mean, we'll probably get gassed unless we come at them really fast, really early. Aside from that, I think it's going to be like a very technical matchup where we both have, depending on our research and our what mages we have. I mean, we both have basically phenomenal communions we can build. And both have. He has probably a little better troops than we do, but
yeah, and he'll do better against our crossbow idea.
Yeah, I'm actually a little worried that he does like a mass flight rush with elephants. That would be terrifying for us to deal with.
Jesus Christ, don't give me that idea.
Yeah. That's
I don't need to have that in my dreams.
I forget how they do it. Do they have air access? Maybe they don't have air, and I can let go of this worry. I don't see air so far.
It's not listed in their magic paths, but
okay.
Usually it'll say like some if you can get like a random for it.
Well, yeah. Knowing our luck, they'll run into some.
He's gonna get like the class province.
Yeah.
Inside his cap circle.
Okay, so we're not really looking for several reasons. One is I also have a thing too where I try to save my hardest wars for the last, because like the last thing you want to do is have the hardest war of all game be your first war. And fighting Arco is, unless there's like a bunch of people conspiring to kill him, which it might be, and if that happens on top of us being in a good position to do something about it, we might help. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, next up we have Tianchi. And this is Ballin and Zan, right?
Yep, yes it is.
And this is late age Tianchi is scary, man. And the main reason they're scary is these guys. These guys are so goddamn scary. They're 15 protection, 15 defense. Almost the same stats as that other cav we were looking at.
And their resources are way lower than ours.
Right. Way lower resources and 20 gold. 20 gold. And they get a big heavy lance charge too. And they have composite bows. I mean, they are one of the best troops in the game that, I mean, now they are going to fall off in the mid-late game in a way because, they don't have magic weapons, they don't have dark vision, they don't have phenomenal MR. There's just a bunch of small little problems that this has in like the late game, but even then it'll be good as a raider. But if we are doing mass Malia Druzina, these will be a problem. And honestly, if we're doing mass crossbow, these will be a problem. Because unless we just bring way more stuff than they do or have flaming arrows, because composite bows will tear up crossbows.
Yeah, and they have a shield, of course.
Right, of course.
And a helmet and all that stuff.
Yeah, they would murder, like 150 of these guys versus 300 crossbows. I think these guys tear up the crossbows, even if they're just set to fire. Of course, if they charge, it's going to be worse, but yeah.
Yeah. So our only benefit is that they might have been going the Sakane build with using ancestor vessels, because that is something Zan would want to do. So it'd be up to Ballin to pull him back, because they have built in, I think, is that Spirit Sight or is that Blindness?
Yeah, Spirit Sight.
They have built in Spirit Sight, and you can put on some pretty crazy weapon blesses on that Howling Bow.
Yeah, I hope they do that. That would be if they do that, then we'll go kill them. But if this is like, I think maybe our worst matchup, if for like a first, turn 14 war, if they went mass heavy barbarian heavy horseman,
yeah.
And I mean, the sacreds are great, sure, get a bless for them or something, but you can do both. If you take a light bless, you don't have to pick. You can get the ancestor vessels and horsemen. Yeah. So.
Plus, those barbarian heavy horsemen don't even need a fort. A foreign recruit, which is even more annoying.
Oh yeah, that is right. I forgot about that. God, it's gonna be fucking horrible.
Please stay away, Zan. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they are really scary. To a lot of nations. Like, I remember I was playing Vanheim and Nick Knight was playing these guys, and fortunately Atlantis killed them. They killed off Tianchi, because I did not want to have barb heavy horse. Like, one of the things with Vanheim is they want to sit there and buff up for a while, and with like such high quality cav that are on attack rear, like turn 1, they're just going to be back there before you have any buffs on your dudes, and then you lose everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's a phenomenal nation just for this one unit. It's just one of the best units in the game.
I don't know much about late age TNG, but they scared me.
Yeah, I mean, they also get like, look at this guy, air death. I mean,
Yeah, they also have good water access, I think. So like, I'm just picturing those heavy horsemen with like quickness cast on them.
yeah, or like strength of giants and stuff.
Dear
from
God,
this guy, yeah. It's yeah, it's gonna be a thing. Ideally, we don't have to deal with it. They scale pretty well in the late game, but I don't think they're like the hardest scaling nation. I think we actually scale better into the late game than they do. So better, I think we could probably hold off a defense against them, especially 1v1. But I definitely don't think we should go pick a fight with them unless somehow they're like a dying animal that needs to be put out of their misery.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's TNG. Next up, we have Jomon. You ever played with Jomon before?
I have not actually played with them, no. And they're played by Triumphant Hero and Bufo. I'm not gonna pretend I pronounced that right.
Oh, nice. So what do you think about this matchup, Grippa?
They do not have shields, which I like to see.
Yeah.
That's one thing I know. So our crossbow thing should go well. I am kind of scared about those Ryujin thug thingies. Yeah. Just because of those crazy paths they can do and all this random stuff. They're hard to plan ahead for because you can do a lot of different things with them.
Yep.
So I think we'll do pretty well against them.
Yeah, I think troop-wise, we do really well. We already know where they are, so they're not going to be near us, fortunately. So that's not what we have to worry about. But they also are one of the nations that can gas us. These Master Shugenjas can do foul vapors. And then the dragons can too. And, you know, we're a scales nation without any sacreds, really, that are any good. And we don't have nature mages. So, like, we are high up there on the, like, get gassed list.
Yeah.
So
and I couldn't help but notice during the finals how every nation who needed nature mages got a nature mage pretty much. So I can't wait to definitely not get a nature mage.
Yeah. Oh, come on. We'll get a nature mage.
Have you seen my luck?
Grippa, we'll get a nature mage. We may not get a lot of them, or we may not get, like, a shaman or something. Well, we'll find a goddamn wolf tribe somewhere. Come on.
We'll find some random guy in the woods.
Okay. And then next up we have... Okay, so in summary, Jomon, I think you're right. We would crush them from troops, but... And so if we, like, really rush them down before they can get Enchant 5, we could be fine. But they also are going to probably have an Earth Snake, which those are really going to be tough to deal with. We could maybe deal with it just through Smite spam, but it's going to be... And, like, Heavy Cav do a little okay against them, but I don't know.
I'm glad they're spawned. We know where they are, and we can just be like, shoo, stay over there.
Right. Okay, next up we have Caelum. Who's playing them again? I forget.
Caelum is being played by Foolish Pride and Wintermute 92.
Oh, right, nice. So what do you think about this? The Caelum matchup?
I played Caelum and died on turn 8. So, otherwise, flyers I don't like.
Yeah.
Not for what we're planning on doing. I mean, our cavalry might be able to do okay if they can survive the first lance charge.
Yeah, the game with Caelum is our heavy cav will destroy basically everything they have. I mean, like, brutally just massacre all their stuff until they get air elementals and fog warriors. Either or. And Conjuration 5 comes online pretty fast for Caelum normally. So, you know, once that's out, it's going to be a little bit of hard times for us if they're fighting us. Now, we have things we can do, but it's not going to be an easy battle. And, you know, it sucks getting birded and all of this bullshit. So, I think there's a nation I'm going to look to make peace with if we can. I think it's like a pretty... there's a game to it, you know? Like, can we gem bait their air elementals? Can we catch their army with our heavy cav stacks? You know, there's things we can do, but I don't know. It's
I also just realized something that might be a problem in the upcoming turns is that we are cold 3,
oh
and we are
right.
next to Atlantis, and hopefully probably not Caelum.
Well, Atlantis, and correct me if I'm wrong, Grippa, they don't get cold power or anything. Oh no, they have the ice armor. Fuck.
Yeah, the ice armor.
Hmm.
So they will, and knowing our luck, they're going to spawn like around all Heat 3 nations otherwise. So they'll be like, ooh, piece of candy. But yes,
I don't think
I
that's
was
going to
just
matter
thinking,
if we have like 200 crossbows. But I think that's a
yeah,
good point that they are much more likely. Like, there's like two things now: the fact that we're cold 3, and that their lake points towards us. That means we're probably going to have to fight them. So that's probably like what our first objective should be. Should be getting naps with everybody who's not them, and just going and killing them.
yeah, I would be down for that.
Okay. Next up, we have Midgard, and this is being played by Maryland and Venusaur.
Yeah,
We tried to ban out the elves, but nobody would ban with this. I think
We
the
tried
nations we
very
got
hard.
banned were Lemuria and Relay, and that's it. So we voted
Yep.
Midgard, though.
we decided to not handle the elf issue, and we have to deal with the elf issue.
Yes. So what do you think about this matchup?
However, I'm excited about this matchup because of our priest guy spam, whose name Eparks,
Right.
with our thing. I am actually looking forward to hopefully getting to smite some elves, which means it will not happen. But
Yeah. I think this is one of our best matchups early game because we can smite the elves with a bunch of priests, and your defense matters for naught when you're smout. And your defense also doesn't matter when you're running your vans in their pretty elf armor into like 300 crossbow with flaming arrows.
exactly. Plus, they can't hit you if they're stone.
Right. Now, there's again a timing thing. Like later, we don't have any magic weapons. So when the Fog Warriors and stuff comes out, we're going to have plans for how we deal with that. But, yeah, I mean, it's a super versatile nation, too. And, I mean, they have other things. Like, they could go Einhairs and stuff. But this stuff, everything here they have is going to get murdered by crossbows until they get arrow-fenned. So,
What's the over/under of Maryland getting arrow-fenned like immediately?
I mean, it's enchantment 6. And it's probably not his first research target. So I would put it
Yeah, I
at
would
pretty
presume
low.
they'd want the buffing first.
Yeah. I mean, if we have like a little like 2v1 quick first war, we could probably get a second war in before people start getting enchant 6. So we'll have to see. Okay, and then that brings us to us, Rasputin, our god.
Yes.
And yeah, we are going to do the people of Rus proud.
We will. Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
We'll be 1945 Russia, not 1940.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think I also have a goal, which we can go ahead and mention here, which is I really want to get Eternal Pyre, and I sent you a note about how we control it. We're not going to do it through our god directly, and it's going to be like we're going to have to do some horse trading with gems and stuff, but
Look, I knew I was outclassed when your plan for Eternal Pyre was more steps than I usually used in the first war. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ, there's like 19 different steps to getting Eternal Pyre here.
yeah, we'll go through the path of it real quick. So first path is we get these statets, or however you say it, are fire 2, and once we get a death random in construction 6, we can get up to fire 3. And basically the pathway to get Eternal Pyre, we can't just go enchantment 6 and cast it because we don't have anybody who can. We basically have to go construction 6, conjuration 6, and the order there doesn't matter that much, and then enchantment 6. And once we have all 3 of those, we'll have the tools we need to cast Pyre, because we're basically going to take her, we'll put the Fire Death, the Skull of Fire, that fire booster on her. She can summon a Flame Spirit, and then we can put the booster on him, and then he can make the Flame Helmet, and then he'll be Fire 5 with both of those boosters. And I think... Oh, and then that even still is not quite enough. You have to be Fire 6.
Yes.
And that is why we have our god. And so our god actually has a small role to play where she will make the Ring of Wizardry, which means we have to have like... So all in all, when you look at the total cost of stuff, it's going to be like 100 and I don't know. I wrote it down somewhere like 80 fire gems and like 80 pearls or something.
It is 140 fire, 5 death, and 80 pearls.
Right.
All for us to probably have Phlegra cast it 2 turns later. But
yeah,
because they're the only ones that will really try and go. I mean, I
Raga.
never picked
Raga's the other
Raga.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never pictured Bogarus. When you said we're going for Eternal Pyre, I'm like, we have fire. So,
dude, fire's
like,
one of
fire.
Fire's our highest reliable path aside from blood and air.
Yeah.
So it's not our highest.
I've only ever seen a Bogarus played as like a blood power, and the only fire was used for fire birds.
Yeah,
was all I knew for fire for Bogarus. I've seen them in 2 games.
Well, that's the plan. If we get fire's really important for us. So we took Astral 6 on our Pretender so that we could cast Wish. And I think what we're going to do is just wish and turn gems into fire. Because wishing is the most efficient way to turn one gem type into another. Even if you're not making a profit off of it, it's still better than alchemizing or something. So my plan for Wish, Grippa, is if we don't need anything specific that turn, like we don't need to summon some dude that's going to be super critical for us, we just wish for gems, turn them into fire, and turn those into Firebirds.
Woo, Firebird Factory!
Yeah, no, I think we're going to go hog wild on Firebirds if we can. Especially if we can control Eternal Pyre. I mean, oh my god.
I absolutely love the scaling things, so I am all in. I am throwing all my chips into this basket. So I can't wait to see how this goes.
Okay, next up we have Patala, and this is being overly attached girlfriend, huh?
And that's that's by Castronomical, of course, and
right.
Mazirian 72.
Right, and these guys both love monkey nations, so yeah, that will be exciting. And so yeah, this is the second people from the finals. So, well, kind of second. Isataris and Arco were in the finals, and Cash was in the finals. There might be some other people too, but
isn't Vinzanar in the finals?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, so Patala, I think is a bad matchup. This is one of the easiest nations to get Foul Vapors out. I mean, it's just like trivial for them, kind of. They have, and then the troop wise, I think we would crush them. But I don't know.
We'll beat them in troops, but they're gonna destroy us with magic.
Yeah,
I think.
Now, he's probably, because he's done this before, he's probably taking a Dormant Titan, too. So that's the other thing to factor in for if we decide to go on them. We need to have Dormant Titan killing stuff, which I think we can muster, but, it's going to be tricky.
Using my very limited, very, very limited experience with Pretender titles, Drinker of Blood, Mistress of Mountains. I assume means high blood, high earth.
Yeah. Huh, we could
Queen of Might might even be Earth.
Devi of Darkness, is that it? Or is that...
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It doesn't sound like it's astral. So, does that?
So, I don't know. I think that's like a man matchup. I just don't really want to run in and get a 300-person army of gas. The thing is, though, if we have as many crossbows as I'm planning on having, the gas will probably only kill like 10% of the stuff because the battle will be over so fast. But that's like famous last words, too.
We'll be held to that one.
All right. Next up, we have Alfarius, which I think this is 3 people
played by
playing.
Alfarius, and Alfarius.
They have gone and changed their names in Discord, so they all have the same name and the same icon. So they are truly doing like the Vulcan mind merge or something. So that'll be exciting. So they're playing Raga.
They made a million memes that they were doing cold Raga, so I don't believe them.
Right. They, I don't know if these guys outclass us. I mean, these guys are pretty good. Savarin Guard. 20 protection. Ooh. Yeah. These
that's
are
scary.
a lot better than our dudes. A lot better. They got crossbows like for free. They have 20 protection. They cost the same.
They cost 5 more resources, and that's it.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, hope you enjoy the better protection and having a free bow. Great.
God damn it.
Great.
And they're just naturally fire resistant.
Yeah, and they're fire resistant. So like,
good like flaming arrows.
right. That being said, most Ragas are going to take a bless, and we're going to just be having way more dudes than they will. So, I think a lot of our strategy is coming down to quantity over quality.
That is a very common theme that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I think half the nation so far has been, but if we bring 400 crossbows, we'll wipe them.
And you're like, but Lucid, Bogarus doesn't get any crossbows.
Yeah,
any
right.
crossbows, goddammit. Yeah. But I sent you that screenshot. I fully expect we can get like by turn 20, we can have like 300 crossbows on somebody's capital. So we'll see. But, these guys are potentially, because each of their temples generates fire gems the same way like they would for Lemuria or something. Yeah. So getting these guys out of the game would be great just so we can have a better chance of controlling Pyre. So lowbrow social commentary, that is the ruler of Phlegra.
And Phlegra is played by Pendragon and Grandpa.
Right. That will be a fun team. So these guys are interesting. They have these dudes, the Cyclops Warriors, which are...
They always look badass, but I've never seen them do anything well, I'll be honest.
Yeah, they're kind of okay. And they've got really low morale, and we're in Astral Nation. We would mess these guys up pretty early. They do have the Mouflon Cataphract, which is basically the same as ours, except it has 1 lower attack skill. But it has half upkeep, is 10 gold cheaper, and otherwise the same.
Why is this happening for every nation?
It's 12 per year, and it gives a food bonus, which, by the way, is something we've struggled desperately with. And then look at our guy.
I'm at 32. Jesus Christ.
32 gold a year.
And it costs 10 more gold. God dang it.
God dang it.
So as long as we can build up 400 of them.
Oh, God. Okay. But don't worry, Grippa. We got this. I actually think this is an okay matchup for us. Despite the fact that their units are better. If we bring more, I think we've got a good shot at winning. I think we've got a real good shot at winning.
Start taking shots every single time you say, if we bring more.
Dude, this is the thing. And I think, honestly, through... there's a few videos I've made where I feel like I've really shaken up the meta sometime. We'll talk... one of the things that's most obvious is and it wasn't even my thing. It was somebody else doing it in my game, that Repel Bless dude from... It was Janahito doing a Repel Bless on Femoria, and I was like... everybody's jaw dropped to the floor. But I showed, I think... a video of how Scales Naba could not be greedy as an addendum to the tournament.
Yeah.
And that's basically what we're going to do. We went Scales, but we're not going to do greedy Scales. We're just going to pump out units. And I don't think this is caught on. I don't think other people are doing it.
I mean, I kind of figured that's what I always end up doing, is I love Scales, and I just build up these massive things. My only issue is I don't attack people with them. Yeah. But
we're going to fix that. We're going to murder people.
I fool people into attacking me, and then I'm like, you've activated my 400 trap cards.
Right.
And then I win a war. Or die on my cap after 50 turns.
Yeah. But I think this will be okay. Our Cav will trade sort of okay against these guys. I don't think we would want to rush them. This is not a juicy target. However, I think we scale better than they do. With some exceptions, these troops with the fire resistance are going to hold up a lot better into the late mid game than ours will. But we're going to get out of the business of getting our own troops probably after turn 40. So we'll see. But we have a way better mage lineup is kind of the thing. And
I'm definitely enjoying the Bogarus mage lineup.
And Raga is slow, man. Raga is so slow. Like, their temples cost more. Like, when you're getting these Zayedans out, it just feels like things are taking forever to get. Like, they cost so many resources. I mean, I've only played Raga once, and I was just subbing in for a few turns during expansion. But yeah, I was just like, man, I thought this would be like a lot faster moving, but it was like, oh my god, it was like drawing blood to get every single unit out. So they're going to probably, I think if we were to fight them early, it would be like they have like 80 dudes that are really good, and we're like, oh yeah, well, we've got 400.
I'm getting a drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So, okay, wait, we've talked Raga, we've talked Phlegra. Yeah, here's the thing with Phlegra. I honestly think you should kind of play them full scales. I think going for a bless for them is kind of a mistake. But the problem going full scales is you're like very reliant. I mean, it's the same thing that we're going to deal with. Like, you have to use all the units you have to survive until your god comes out, or for them until the tyrants come out. But honestly, I think we'll fuck them up at all stages in the game. But some of this is probably a little misplaced confidence.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping they try to roll out with a big bunch of those giants, and we just hit them with like 15 eparchs, turning them into stone. Is my dream, but that's probably not how it's going to go.
Yeah. Okay, next up we've got Vanheim. What do you think about this as a matchup?
Vanheim scares me. I won a game with them, and the entire time I was playing them, I was like, I feel like I could be doing 400 times more things, but Rimvedi go burr. I took a bless on them, which apparently no one else does.
Yeah.
So, I don't like them. I don't want to fight them. They can probably gas. Yeah. I think they can gas us.
Yeah, they can totally gas us.
And yeah, they're played by good people. They're played by Hezekiah and Nosy.
Oh god! And see, here's the thing: I just beat Hezekiah in a game where I was playing Vanheim.
Yep.
And I showed him like literally all of my Vanheim like everything I had, every little trick in my bag I had to pull out to beat him. He was position 1 and I smacked him. But there are a lot of little tricks, and a lot of them have to do with point buffing. And Vanheim is the god of point buffing.
Yes.
We have tricks to deal with some of that. Like, we can pop out a bunch of air elementals, which is one of the ways that, like, if you want to sit there and point buff for 5 turns, good luck with like 10 air elementals on top of you.
Yeah.
However,
we have those, which one are they? One of our guys are, the Astropelagus.
Yeah.
Air 2, Astro 1.
And we have cold resistance, so we don't really have to worry so much about the Rimvedi. Though I think given enough time, we'll still succumb to it.
We only have 3 cold resistance, so I think that like 1 square Rimvedi will still immediately put us to sleep.
No, I don't think so. I think
6 of them and 1 square.
I mean, eventually, like, give it enough time, but I don't think it'll be fast. Like, I think this will take a lot of the edge off, but you could be right. We'll have to find out.
How much cold resistance does Rimvedi have? I mean,
Rimvedi are going to have 1 million. The Vanheim will put their... I mean, they have 5 on their normal troops. And if these guys get too surrounded by Rimvedi, they will fall asleep for, But if the 5 renders them mostly resistant to the Rimvedi.
We don't even have 5. That's the problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll take some fatigue. But the thing is, it's going to be a DRN roll that is making it through. The normal chill effect, I don't think will go through. I think it's only going to be the DRN part. Because the three cold resistance counts as 6. You basically double your resistance to get your fatigue fighting effect.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
The more you know.
But that being said, when I played Rimvedi, I basically primarily used the Berserker, and I went like perfect scales. And I'm highly suspicious they do something very similar. I know when Arco played them, he took a dormant Frostfather or something, or an awake Frostfather, and got a very early Mother Oak. So it's good that we're not planning on doing that because we'd have to fight these guys for it.
As long as we bring 800 crossbows.
Yeah. Actually, I won my first war against Ulm when I was playing Vanheim, but it was at a pretty great cost. Like, he had a ton of archers, and they kind of tore me up because a lot of the fluffing that you do with Vanheim involves like nature buffs, like protection, and that doesn't work against flaming arrows. So I think that's actually a decent point.
That's what I was holding out for, was flaming arrows.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think, there's a fight, but also in short order, and it's a fast researching nation because they got foreign recruit hags. In short order, they will probably have Val Vapors, and then we really don't want to mess with them until we can get Serpent's Blessing up.
Maybe they just won't use Val Vapors.
Yeah. Where does the poop go? Sewage treatment plants, my friend. Happy to answer your questions. Atlantis.
Played by TRHMC. I don't think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. And Sigma Farius.
Oh, that's Mandarby Max. So.
Oh, is that Mandar? Shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never played with him. Good. And then, okay.
Yeah. I actually have. These guys are in my book of grudges for the Machaca game, which I need to go finish uploading. But. I don't know. I shouldn't hold a grudge against Mandar because he subbed into the game, but he still pissed me off. Anyway. But they are definitely going to be our neighbors. And these guys, I think like these guys. So here's the thing. If they use these ones with the shield, they're going to be mostly resistant to crossbow fire because their protection, it's ice protection 2. So it's going to go up basically to, 23 protection or something?
I think it's 23.
So we have to, I think before we attack, we need to figure out how crossbows do against these guys in Cold 3. Give him... Yeah, I don't know. I think we have to figure that out. Because, these are expensive, so he's not going to be able to mass them. So we should be able to have 3 times the crossbows that he has Ice Guard. But the other thing is, if he doesn't go for the Ice Guard, which I don't really love these. Like, the ones I like making the guys are the halberds.
Yeah, the glaives. Every time you read anything about Atlantis, it's like, look at these ice glaives.
Look at them, though. They're amazing. But yeah, these are the ones I normally make. The thing is, though, these are going to do much worse against the crossbows. So we'll have to see. I think there's another thing, we probably do want to get a scout over here, see what he's expanding with, see what his army composition is. And this may be one of the people we just snuff out real early.
Yeah.
But, we probably need to fire up a test game and see how... And, we may get unlucky and not have any crossbows. I think that's unlikely, but it's possible.
Do you know who you're playing with?
Come on, Grippa. Okay. And they also cannot gas us, so that's another reason we potentially may want to fight them. And I think that's it. We've gone through everybody. So we have a decision to make. Do we want to put 400 on the shipwreckers, which would be 1 province a turn, but we may not get it.
How many troops can we recruit this turn from our cap with nothing? Oh yeah, we're doing the E-Park there, so the 2 cav and...
The E-Park, this doesn't look like much, but the thing is, if we don't get any of these, I don't know if we can expand.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. If we do not get these shipbreakers...
Well, actually, that makes it kind of simple, right? Because if we do get the shipbreakers, we might still only be able to expand 1 province, because our starting army might not be able to roll out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we probably do this, because... And it'll just be better for people trying to learn how to play Bogarus, because you can't rely on getting shipwreckers turn 1.
Yeah.
Okay, and the important things are that we get all 4 of these farmlands. This is a large province down here. I want to get this one too, if I can. And then we need to get scouts to see who our neighbors are and what they're building.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the mountain ranges and what they block off.
You know what, though? I think... No, okay. I think Atlantis has scouts that can sail.
Oh, God. Kill me.
Oh, no, this guy can't. Okay, maybe they can't. Okay, whew.
Thank God.
But he's definitely going to be marching his scout over in our direction.
Yeah,
the worst thing would be if Atlantis took this and PD dumped it. I think I would want to die.
Well, there is a chance he might go east because he's got the 2 lakes to the east. And they might want to try... They might be like, these 3 water provinces are ours regardless. Let's see what we can get in those 2 water provinces there. That is my dream. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. But I am not good with this map part of the game. So...
Yeah. Well, if we get these 4 farmland and we don't have horrible expansion otherwise, I think we'll be okay. And then it'll just come to who are our neighbors and who wants to fight. But yeah, I think ideally we kill Atlantis. I think that's the plan.
Is that a cave to the east of our capital?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which we don't want to fight Atlantis in there because they have dark vision and we don't.
Oh, crap.
But this is another thing too. Like the sooner we can get these naps on lockdown and stuff, our mage core. I mean, here's the thing: if we know we're going to be doing crossbows, like we pull up the next turn, we see a bunch of crossbow indies around us, etc., then we kind of know our first research target, which is going to be enchantment 4, and we're going to need probably alchemists for that. And then we'll be able to do, strength of giants and flaming arrows, and we'll be really happy. But, after that, depending on who our neighbors are, we may need to think about... Because we have a lot of choices with this nation. And the choices we make and what mages we recruit should line up with the choices we make in research. So if we're thinking we're going to need a lot of air elementals, then we need to make sure we get astrologists and we research conjuration. But all that will be dependent on, Diplo and all the nations and stuff. So that'll be fun figuring out.
Yeah. So I guess the big thing is to see what we got around us next turn.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I think that we'll call it there for this. That was a long time to talk about really nothing happening in a turn.
Classic.
So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed, and thank you for joining me, Grippa.
No problem.
See you all next time.